I almost feel stupid for talking about this, but the new two-player starter product was revealed early on a number of different channels. I don't know all of them, but I know DZ and Farfa showcased this product, and I've seen a lot of people griping about it ever since. And what I don't understand is why did they expect for this starter product to be super competitive is the main thing. Like I see people ragging on this product for loads of reasons, and I'm just going to address my main concerns here while also talking about starter product in general. So, first and foremost, a new product like this, using vanillas to introduce the idea of comparing your card's stats is a good thing. Because please remember, there are people who have never played Yu Gi Oh! Before or never even played a TCG before that wouldn't have the basis that you or I, in franchise players, would have because we've played Yu-Gi-Oh, we've played Pokemon, Digimon, whatever, right? We have an idea that stats matter in card games, but not everyone does. But even beyond that, it's important to have different starter products for different audiences. So any given product doesn't need to be for you to be good. I genuinely do not understand why this is so hard for people to wrap their heads around. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has an issue with growth, and this is addressing exactly that. I don't remember the exact specifics, but there was like a shareholder meeting or something like that, and some of the, I guess, content of that got revealed to the public. And one of the big things was the fact that like Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have the most difficult time retaining players, but it does have a difficult time retaining new players, right? Like making the number go up kind of hard, and this again is something that's trying to address that by making the onboarding process easier. And beyond that, I think card games as a whole should learn from each other because there are so many ways to make starter product and target different audiences with each of them, right? So we have WeCross here. The standard WeCross starter decks are like $8 to $10, I believe, and a number of them have introduced staple cards for playing the game. So a lot of the time, you will buy one of these, especially like if you're playing blue, because it's cheaper to do that than to buy random drain directly. But this is like not a stock market esque issue. It's mostly just because WeCross is a pretty niche game. So if you want to buy 4 copies of Random Drain and then a couple of other cards from a single seller, you might have a rough time doing that. Then the second image is actually a more competitively oriented deck. It's actually one of the first products that I bought, and this ended up being relevant for months. It's very solid. Then we have Yu-Gi-Oh. We got our $10 to $14 structure decks because I believe the Albaz Strike one was like what? I think it was like 12.99, 13.99, something like that. It was priced a little bit higher because it included some extra stuff. And all of these decks, for the most part, are in a Highlander style. And you pick the deck up, you play with some friends casually, and maybe you decide that, oh, hey, I actually want to continue playing this game, or I like this theme. So you decide to pick up 2 more copies so your deck can be more consistent. So regardless if you're playing with your friends or you're going to try out playing the game at a locals, you have a solid baseline to work from. And it built up from you buying that one structure deck, right? That started it all. Then we go to Pokemon. Pokemon has a couple of different things, but I wanted to focus on the League Battle decks because they are a $30 product that gives you a cohesive baseline, and it can be upgraded for really cheap because Pokemon is an inexpensive game, and out of the box is competent enough strategy to use standalone, whether or not you're using it for locals or whatever else. And going one step further, I have a lot of complaints about Vanguard, but the Stride deck sets are very good introductory products while also being pretty good products if you want to play competitively. Same thing goes for the Orphis stand up deck set specifically. The other two are middling and terrible, I'll say. But these three products set, I think, a very solid bar for what a $40 to $50 product should be, and Vanguard has 2 more upcoming in the Shiranui and Loard ones. It's not about me listing these products is not about them being intended for me or something that I necessarily want to play or use. It's the fact that each of them hit a demographic, sometimes multiple demographics, and appeal to them each in their own way, right? Like there are going to be people who are going to start Yu-Gi-Oh from zero And this thing, right? This is going to be where they want to and should start, and they can get a friend into the game alongside them, right? That's a good thing. But for some people, they're going to read into the game, they're going to look up a lot of the basic rules, and they're going to say, okay, I want to play something, but I'm not sure what to play. So having something that's more cohesive, more comprehensive, like the Stride deck sets out of the gate, could be very good for them, right? That's the core of what I wanted to say. And like, if you're going to complain about this new product, right? Like, my comment was on the screen for a bit, so you can just pause it if you really want to read it. But bro, if you complain about anything, you should complain about the fact that the synchro side is just kind of stronger than the Xyz side, because the Xyz side has a much more difficult time getting to their game plan. Like, they could have given them gadgets or Goblinberg or something that made making a rank 4 just a little bit easier. This is also because the synchro side has kind of the better removal, but hey, I digress. Anyway, try to keep an open mind. Peace.